So if you didn't see part 1 about split nail, I urge you to see that, because this part 2 that I'm going to be going through now won't make much sense. So I urge you to first go to part 1 before you continue with this one right here, part 2. Okay, so in part 1 we repaired the nail, and what happens is that your nail will continue to grow. Okay, so at one point now, because your nail is growing, the split is going to come back, and everything that all the work that we did is going to eventually just crack and break off. If this happens while you're not at home or whatever, and you need a quick fix, just use a piece of tape. Now, don't use this kind, the transparent tape. That's no good. You want to make sure you use this one. Okay, this is just as transparent, but you can see here, this is the shiny tape. If you don't have this, just use packing tape. Okay, and all we're doing here is we're going to put it over here, just over the crack that's still there, and then just with scissors, okay, and just trim away. Okay, now you don't want to trim the nail. Okay, you just want to trim the tape itself. Okay, you'll do a much better job than I'm doing here, because I'm trying to rush. I don't want you to watch a long video if it doesn't have to be. Anyway, so that's all you do. And it's shiny. You'll see it. Can't really tell, but the tape makes it shiny, so it'll be okay. At least it won't catch on everything, and that's the important thing, is when the nail is split, the way it catches on everything. I did such a good job here that I can't take this off now. Great. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, let's continue now with part 2. Okay, the materials that we use are going to be the same as last time, which would be crazy glue. You need a pair of tweezers. You don't need that, but I use that to close off when I'm done. I'm going to need sandpaper, or a file of some sort. Okay, I particularly like this one. This was in my first video, and I think I'm going to use it again. And also we're going to need some paper from tea bag. Okay, empty out the tea, use the tea bag. Again, if you haven't seen the first video, this will make no sense whatsoever. And a pair of scissors. Yeah, so the first thing that we need to do is to get rid of as much of this as possible. So I'm just going to, let's see, just carefully. Okay, now this is not my nail, this is the, and be careful with if you're going to use, like, well, tweezers. Well, tweezers could stab you as well. But anyway, so you want to do this, get rid of this old stuff here. Okay. It's actually pretty hard. Huh. Okay. Now I'm guessing that if you have nail polish remover, I do not, but if you did, this might make it a little simpler. I don't know. And okay, so there's the, oops, there's the old, it's not a nail, that's actually just, what do you call it, crazy glue. Crazy glue and a tea bag. That's what we did. All right, so let's get that out of the way and start over again. We need to clean this up a little bit, as you could see. All right, I'm going to clean that up. And the way we're going to do that is, well, we have the P150, but that's a little bit too rough. So I'm going to use this one, which is the 240. Okay, just fold it up a little bit. And okay, we're back. Now, if you can see this, I'm going to show you something. It is not, the split does not go down as far as it did the first time. Okay, the very first time, I think the split was actually right around here. Now the split is actually right, okay, it's right here. All right, get rid of this stuff. Got a tea bag and get a small piece and crazy glue. Where's it? And before I pierce it, I am going to put a push pin in it so it doesn't start leaking out. So just dry fit this. Let's see how it goes. That's good. Okay, so these are good. So we'll start over again, just like we did last time. Put some crazy glue on. This is just to hold it in place. Put this on. That's terrible. Don't do what I did, okay? And the reason it did do that is because I didn't put enough glue so it wasn't sliding. Okay, now I'm going to put a lot more. So now it'll slide better when I apply this. There we go. And again, if you didn't watch this the first time, you're not going to understand the second time. And I got a little grain of sandpaper underneath there. And, okay, whoa, stuck my fingers together. Okay, so they got one layer, and I'll put in the second one. Saturate that. And just like the first time, make sure you get rid of any bubbles. I put too much glue on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a, well, I was going to put 3 pieces in it anyway. And you know what? I am going to put a 4th piece there also. And again, as these things grow, listen to me, as the nails grow, the split will come closer and closer to the edge. But you're gonna have to do this often. And we'll let this dry for about I don't know, 15-20 minutes, and then we'll come back to this video. I'm going to set a timer here for 20 minutes. BRB. Okay, so it's been just under 18 minutes, and we're going to stop this now. And let's see how our nail is doing. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's do it this way. Okay, it looks like I got a bubble in there. I'm hoping that's not a bubble, but it is dry. So let's take it to the next step, which would be, again, filing. Now, I'm going to start off with a little bit of higher grit paper. So we got the 150 here. Now remember, only down, not up. You don't want to go up because you'll pick up the nail. So actually, you know what? This is kind of big. So first, let me just trim off. I'm not trimming my nail, mind you. I am only trimming the tea bag part. I don't want to trim the nail at all. That's what we're going to do through filing. If we trim the nail, you might do more damage than anything else. Okay, so now we're going to go in a down motion. put something stiff in here. I'm just using the pocket ruler. Now let's see what that looks like. Let's get a better look on that. Okay. It is not bad. Yeah, I don't know. That might be a bubble in there that I got. I think that it is. But you know what? We're going to try to get that out, okay? So this has been now rounded off. It's been rounded off enough. I'm going to go back to the higher grit paper, which is the 240. Okay? I'm just sticking a ruler in here just to make it a little stiffer. I got some glue underneath the nail, so I'm just going to sand that off a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing on the nail a little bit. I'm just going to go, again, not going to press too hard, but I want to smooth this out a little bit. Now, depending on which nail you're using, obviously, you're either going to use the sandpaper, you're going to move the sandpaper or your finger. I am going back to, if you remember this, from video number 1. And this is, they're actually numbered. So we have step 1, which is coarse grit. I don't know if you can see it. Coarse grit to shape nail. All right. And then we got step 2. So I'm going to do that. Now I'll go on to number 2. And number 2 says medium grit to refine the shape. Now we're going to go on to number 3. 3. Okay, so now I'm going to go actually on the nail a little bit, which is a little finer grit than the 240 was. Okay, so I'm going to just roughen it up a little bit, not too much. Now you don't want to go too far and remove all of the work that you've done. Number 4 is the condition the nail. Okay, now this is the fun part. If you see what the nail looks like here, okay, we're going to do the number 4. Now we're going to go on to number 5, which is to smooth the nail. Again, this is starting to take a good shape. You may not like the color. Okay, and that was number 5. We're going to go to 6 and 7 next. So here is 6, which is a nail buffer. Not bad, see? And there's number 6. Number 7 is polish and shine. And there we go. I'm going to just rinse this off, and I'll show you when I rinse all this stuff off. Be right back. Okay, so I just rinsed this off, and it actually looks better, as you can see. I'll see this way. All right. So you might have to do this maybe an additional 1 or 2 times as your nail grows, and the split will, you'll pass the split point. So you might have to do this 1 or twice more. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, don't give it a thumbs up, but don't give it a thumbs down, or do that too. Whatever you believe to do. And leave a comment if you found it helpful. And if you subscribe, I'm trying to build up subscribers, so that would really help. Thanks. Have a great day.